4 years ago today, I was sat right here and I was making Christmas presents, which is what I've been doing all day today as well, because despite planning what I was going to make 3 months ago, I left it all to the last minute again. And 4 years ago today, I was making mugs, and I got a phone call to find out that my dad had passed away. Now, some of you will have heard me talk about this in depth, or maybe you've seen me do poetry, or you've seen my videos about poetry. I can't really remember which poems are out there, but the relationship was complicated. The grief was complicated, and 4 years on, I still haven't really worked out how I feel about anything yet. And I don't know, I was going to upload a picture and just be like, rest in peace or whatever, but it's still complicated. I'm still working out how I feel about things. I'm less in my feelings about it and less overwhelmed, and less focused on what an effect he had on me. And now I've started becoming more curious about what he was like before becoming a dad, I'm not going to air out dirty laundry here, but before becoming the sort of man who did the sort of things he did. What happened to make him like that? It's curious. So I'm sat here, didn't plan to be making Christmas presents again, sat on my living room floor again. But I just keep thinking about that day. I keep thinking about that phone call from his landlady's boyfriend, who I thought was lying. And he said, why would I lie about something like that? And I have to say, if there was anyone who would have lied about that, probably would have been him, because he was a dick. He still is a dick. I'm pretty sure he's still alive. But, and I think about how I had to call everyone, and I think about how I had to pack all my stuff and drive back to Devon, even though we'd originally planned to spend it with my now husband's family, and I had to drive home and we had to do funeral planning and we had to deal with everyone's feelings because everyone chose to remember him differently from the very beginning. That was so apparent, and I just keep thinking a lot about that day. I remember Trey, my husband, came home from work and helped me pack, and when I went, he packed all my clothes and he did an amazing job. He even remembered to pack like my makeup and everything like that. The only thing I ended up taking out was underwired bras, and I'll be honest, I've not really featured underwired bras since. It's been 4 years since I've regularly had underwired bras as part of my thing. And I remember having to text my friend Lorna because we were meant to be going to see the Panto, and I couldn't, my brain, I'd already used all of my brain power on calling my family to tell them. I remember having to call my little sister who was in Australia, and it was morning time here, which meant she was at the pub having a wonderful time, and I had to call and ruin her night out. And so after all of those phone calls, and I had to text Lorna to be like, no, I am not coming to the Panto tonight, and I couldn't find a good way of saying it, so I just went, Dad's dead, not coming to the Panto. Now, friends of mine have made jokes that if I tell this story again, I should say that Lorna replied, oh no, he isn't. But no, yes, he was. So I remember driving home And I remember having my first intrusive thought driving on the motorway, being like, well, if I just swerve off this road right now, I won't have to deal with all of this, and then my family can plan 2 funerals instead. And I don't remember getting home. I do remember that it was the only time that I drove home without stopping for chicken nuggets at Taunton Dean Services, which is what I always do, and I didn't. I drove straight home the whole time, and I remember screaming a lot of the way in the car by myself. Trey did not come with me, but before leaving Bristol, I remember hooking up with my uncle who works not too far away from where I live, and I told him, and he had to tell Granny. But I was like, we've got to meet up because I've made all these Christmas presents and you're going to need these Christmas presents. Because I haven't. I spent all this time making them. I'd been up until 3 the night before finishing Christmas presents, and I was just doing the final touches that day. So yeah, all of that happened 4 years ago. And since then, we planned a funeral, we scattered his ashes, I got engaged, so did my sister. My sister bought a house, I got married. We've lived through this god-awful pandemic and this virus, and I think that maybe it's a good thing that Dad died when he did, because I don't think he would have survived the pandemic. I think he would have just been one of the people who died in this. And yeah, so now here we are. It's 5 days before Christmas, it's 4 years later, and I am crying on my living room floor again. And if you're still watching now, I just want to say I hope you're okay. This year is weird. I don't know where you are in the world watching this, but I know that in the UK things are looking quite scary again in terms of the pandemic. And so this goes out to everyone who's worried about that. This goes out to everyone who is dealing with loss at Christmas time, which is always shit. And it also goes out to people who have difficult relationships with their parents. I hope you're okay. Drop me a message and we can chat. I like voice notes now. Also, if you're watching this and you knew my dad and you remember what my dad was like before he was a dad, comment below your memories of him. I would really like to know. Hey YouTube, if you're still watching this, that means you're on YouTube, and I just got to do the things. Like this video, comment down below if you're dealing with any loss this Christmas. Let's share. I hope you guys are okay. Subscribe. I was planning on doing a video that wrapped up 2021, but I'll be honest, I feel rubbish and I need to take a break. So I will see you for a new video in 2022. I am sending you all the love and light this festive season. If you're isolating away from family, whether you've managed to get to family or whatever, I hope you're okay. I hope you have a very happy Christmas, and I'll see you in the new year. Bye.